This is a new channel where I explain Indian laws, new acts, rules, and amendments in simple language so you actually know what they mean for you. And I'll be explaining anything and everything under the sun regarding law. Every time Parliament passes a law or government changes a rule, it affects your job, your business, your money, or your data. But most people only hear the headlines, not their real impact. On this channel, I break those changes down so you can understand what just became legal and what became illegal and what you should do about it. So today I'll be starting off with DPDP Act. It's more like an introductory video to DPDPA. So this new Indian law changes how companies use your personal data. Most people think Indian companies can use their data only if they agree. That is no longer true. Under India's new DPDPA Act, companies and even government can legally process your personal data in several situations without your consent. And most people have no idea this happened. But let's just break down what this law really changed. So, what we'll start off with what is DPDPA in simple words. So, India passed this law, new law, in 2023. We already know this was called the DPDPA, that is the Digital Personal Data Protection Act. Its stated purpose is to regulate how companies and the government handle digital personal data, meaning any data that can identify you, like your name, your phone number, your Aadhaar card information, etc. The law also applies to any company or app that is collecting data in India, and even companies outside India if they offer services to people in India. So, if you use any app, website, etc., this law applies to your data, like how it is collected or processed. So, and also how it is stored. When can your data be used? The basic rule sounds very simple. A company can process your personal data only if you gave consent or the law allows it for certain legitimate uses. So, consent has to be, first of all, free, it has to be informed, it has to be clear and limited to what is actually needed. So, an app cannot ask to for it to access your contacts if it only needs your phone number to work. I hope you get what I was trying to say with this example. But here's the big change. The Act creates a long list of situations where your data can be used without asking you at all. So these are called certain legitimate uses. For example, your data can be processed without your consent when the government is giving you a subsidiary benefit license or certificate. The state is performing its legal function or security duties. A company is complying with any Indian law or court order. There is a medical emergency, epidemic, or disaster, or your employer is processing data to protect itself from a loss, fraud, or liability. What this means is that your data can be used when you never clicked I agree. Mm, what companies must still do. So, this is the responsibility of the companies. Even when companies are allowed to use your data, they are not free to do anything with it. So, the Act makes them legally responsible for keeping your data accurate, using security safeguards, informing you and the government if your data is breached, and deleting your data when it is no longer needed unless another law requires them to keep it. So if company fails here, it can face penalties running into hundreds of crores of rupees. So next is your right as a person. So this is something which is very important for everyone to know. The law also gives you strong rights. You have the legal rights to first ask a company what personal data they hold about you, second, ask who they shared it with, third, correct or update wrong data, and fourth is ask for deletion when the purpose is over, and five is file a grievance and then complain to DPDP board, data protection board. So these are the enforceable rights, not favors. Obviously these are your personal rights. What this means for you, this law changes the balance. You now have more formal rights over your data, but companies and the government also have more legal power to process your data without asking you first. So, privacy in India now depends less on consent and more on how responsibly institutions follow the law. Last but not the least, this is just the beginning. In the next video, I'll be breaking down how consent really works, what companies can get fined for, and how you can actually use these rights in real life. If you want simple, clear explanations of Indian laws, please do subscribe and please do let me know how I can do better regarding these videos and what all content you would want me to discuss in my upcoming videos. Thank you.